All right, hello everyone. This is C. Alexandra with Rolling Out. This is a design and dialogue conversation. I have Khrysti here with me today. She
Hey.
has been, hi Khrysti. So she's been highlighted as a fashion designer for Black History Month for Target. So super exciting time for her. So we're just gonna dive more into everything she has going on. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing so good. It's raining here in LA, but it's still nice. I love it.
Okay. It looks like spring is here to stay. I'm praying.
I hope so. I'm
Me
over
too.
it.
I love it. Well, I love your hat, by the way. I know I said
Thank
that.
you.
Can you tell us where you got it real quick? I just want to know. No,
Actually, my friend's mom made this for me. She's in Atlanta right now. Shout out to her, Sugar.
I
She's a
love it.
sweetheart.
Aw. All
Yeah.
right. Well, let's get right into it. I guess tell us really quick, where are you from? And how did you get started as a fashion designer?
So I am from Ohio originally. I grew up in Ohio and then moved to Atlanta, and that's where I started our brand. Me and my partner, we started our brand in Atlanta. Our son was born there, and yeah, that's really how it started. Yep.
Okay, so tell us more about your brand, Little Giants Giant Shorties. I know it's mainly for kids, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so
Wow. Go
oh, go
ahead.
ahead.
Yeah, it started when we had actually I was pregnant. I was pregnant with our son, and we were driving one day, and Ivan came up with this design that he wanted to make for him. And it was just like an idea for us. And we made a few things and went and got them pressed up for our son. And our friends and family were seeing the things and they were like, yo, we want some too. And so we made a few more. We started having other people reach out, do just like Instagram, social media. And we made a few more and we sold them. Once we started realizing this could actually be a thing, we went and, did the business and it started from there. 2014, our son was born in 2013. And 2014, we just started the business. Like they were growing up together, It's like,
That's so sweet. I love that. That's beautiful. How you kind of made life into also a business. I think that's so cool because you don't have to like, it's not like you had to be someone you weren't. It was like you just kind of, yeah, just growing with
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's definitely been a process though. It's like people think like, oh, you guys, it's family and it's fun and it's this and it's that. And it's like, it's a lot still. It's still work.
Oh,
But
I
it
know. We're definitely going to get into that because I know just being a business owner comes with a lot of challenges and things of that nature. So, yes. Really quick, can you tell us, I guess, the step-by-step process when it comes to the creative process? Like when you think of the designs, I know you kind of shared a story, but I guess when it comes to designing each piece, like do you sit down? Do you like come up with the fabrics, things of that nature?
Yeah, so I think what we like to do is think of the concept first. Like, what story are we trying to tell? Like with our inception, it was all about making sure everybody knew that our brand was a little version of what streetwear was at the time. So, there was a lot of other adult brands out and no one was making stuff for kids. So we did a lot of flips early on just to like drive it home, tell the story of like we're little streetwear for kids. No one else was really doing that. So as we've evolved and grown as a business, now our story is, do we want to send a message? Do we want to just have something fun and funny? So we always think about what aim and what goal we have with each design and or each concepts or each group of designs. So a lot of times we'll start with whatever the concept is. Like we had a t-shirt called savant, but it was crossed, or savage, but it was crossed out and said savant instead of savage, and we've had like that was just supposed to send a message of like, you get it. But yeah, that's how the design process starts. We think of the design and then we say, okay, we're getting a lot of our blanks cut and sewn, overseas and they've flown in. So then the finishing is like, do we want this embroidered? Do we want this screen printed? Do we want so we start off concepting first, conceptualizing, and then deciding what the end goal is. Like, do we want this to be a jacket? Is this a pattern? Are we sending a message through just the design on the back? Do we want, we start off with the story first.
I love that. Okay. That makes sense. So it's kind of built off of, like you said, a story. I like
Mhm.
that.
What
Um,
message are we trying to send?
say that again.
What message are we trying to send? That's how we started off.
I love that. Well, tell us really quick, how does it feel to be highlighted as a fashion designer at Target for Black History Month?
Yes, Target is such a huge thing. We were so flattered and so honored to be when they reached out a year ago. It's been a year-long process, really cool process. Their team and they have so many teams. I mean, it's Target. But their production team reached out first, and it's just been an amazing experience. Just being able to see like the high level, the mass production of what they do and the logistics they have to take care of. Like I thought I did a lot, but of course, on a different scale, it's like mind blowing all the different parts and pieces that have to come together. Even just with Black History Month, it's a month long campaign and a month long drop, but it's so much, it's a year that went into just these, those 4 weeks. So it's really just learning and just like understanding how to scale and what the steps are for our business. Like it's been a really cool process learning.
I love that. Yes, definitely a learning process, I'm sure. Well, how do you feel like Target has boosted the growth of or for your company in so many ways?
Yeah, it's been amazing boost for us. Target has really looked out. Like they have covered all the bases, they have with the marketing, with the PR, with the production, just like everything. It's been a boost just on social. We've noticed it even in our D2C or B2C, you know what I mean? Like it's been really interesting to see like these designs that we made come to life, and then it usher in this whole new group of, we've gotten our more email subscribers, to say the least, and to have a boost in sales on our website, and then also get all the feedback from everyone buying it and posting it from Target, and to see people walking in the store and to see our pictures, and my son gets a kick out of it. It's really cool,
Mm.
and it's really been helpful.
No, I love that. Can you tell us how important is it for companies to adopt the 15% pledge? And are you familiar with that?
Oh, what is that?
So basically it started and it's so terrible. I actually do not remember her name right now, but it was started by an athlete. She started the 15% pledge, which would basically it was during the pandemic, and she wanted companies to make more room on the shelves for Black owned companies. That was her sole, I guess, drive for the movement. So
Uh,
yeah, how important do you feel like it is for companies to adopt this 15% pledge?
Wow, that's an interesting number too. I'm surprised I haven't heard of that. Wow. I think that's amazing. And that's bold. Like, you know what I mean? To like come at, big boxes like that to just say, yo, what's up? Like, let's run it. Like y'all haven't been fair in the past. Let's put your money where your mouth is. Let's expand and be inclusive. Like I think that's amazing. I didn't know that concept, and the fact that it was started by one person, that's amazing. That's mind-boggling. I think that's great. I hope more companies do that, do this, especially in the way that Target has done. They have like a well-rounded approach to how, like even down to the cotton that made our t-shirts was from a Black-owned company, so I hope more people adopt this rule, this thing, and it just expands and grows, and not just for Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? Like and beyond. Like that's one thing that was cool about Target, Black Beyond Measure. Like I love that tagline. I love the idea of not just staying in one month.
And her name was Aurora Dreams. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. Shout out to her.
Yes. But I guess tell us also like what did you learn from the process? I guess being able to work with other big brands. So during this whole process of I guess setting things up with Target, how can you maybe if another big brand approaches you, how can you move more seamless if that makes sense?
That's such a good question. Wow. That's a really good question because we were nervous at first, and we're like, when we're designing and coming, like, first of all, they came up with the color palette. So that was like really helpful because when we're us, that's one of our biggest things, trying to narrow down like the color story. So, but we know going forward that allow it to be a collaboration. Don't just make sure that our ideas are just at the forefront, because a lot of times we'll have an idea or and printing or finishing or an all over thing, and they'll say, they'll come back with that to us and say, well, we can't do that. That's going to be expensive. This has to go to this many stores. We can, just like little things like that, of knowing to compromise when it comes to a heaviness of a cotton, or compromise when it comes to a rain jacket that is waterproof as opposed to water resistant. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of little things that are, in our case, we can do them because we're direct to consumer. It's easy for us to go get a small run, 30, 50 pieces and do something, but they're doing 5,000 or something. And so they can't do a all waterproof and tape seams and all these certain things. And it's like, you have to compromise a little bit with bigger chains and bigger boxes and mass production. And we've learned that, and we understood that going in. And so I think that helps make it seamless, but even more so, just listening and being open and just riding the process. We had no idea it was going to take a year. We're like, oh, wow, they're reaching out in 2022. Black History 2022. We're like, whoa, okay, sure. For 2023, sure. We had no idea it was going to take the whole year, but it did. And it was eye-opening, but also we went into it with an open mind, knowing that, okay, this is how this works at this scale. And going forward, we know, like, anything else, any other big box we work with, it might take a year, it might take a year and a half, just to get everything right. So that was a long answer, but
No, that was perfect. I love it. That was actually very informative. So thank you for sharing, because I know whoever's watching this will be inspired. So
so
also, I guess, how important is it for you to know the design objectives for your client or your, let's see, people that purchase from you, right? Your kind of your niche, in so many words, like what they're looking for. How important is it for you to know those things?
that's super important. That's super important. Like, there's always room to do a survey. There's always room to get in the comments and ask people what they like, what colors they like. I even email people, like, someone will put a review on our website, and I'll send them an email like, oh, I'm so glad you liked it. Would you buy it in red? Would you do it in, if it was on the pants? If it was, like, ask questions and get feedback. And even the, like, quote unquote bad feedback, it's not bad sometimes. Like, sometimes you need to know, like, oh, the sizing isn't right for a certain piece, or I washed this and something was, something was wrong, or, but that, I mean, that's rare for us, but just knowing what the customer's into, even with the messaging, sometimes we'll ask, on a survey, do you guys like sports related things? Do you like hip hop? Do you like, just getting to know your customer, and not always selling them something. Like, get asked questions, get to know them, but without pushing, like always pushing. So it's very important.
I love that. Um, Tell us really quick, I guess, let's see, what advice do you have for aspiring designers? Because obviously you said, you kind of learned as you, I guess, went through the process. So
Oh
what
yeah.
advice do you have for aspiring designers, and how can we support you all?
Oh, that's so nice. It's all learning. Like, that's one thing I want to say. First of all, like, I didn't go to fashion school. I didn't, I had no idea about that. But even the ones that do will tell you that, like, once you get in the field, it's a whole nother game. Like, you got to learn every single part. You got to know marketing. You got to know fabrics. You got to know colors. You got to know storytelling. Like, that's a huge thing that people miss. They'll have this beautiful piece, but can't sell it because they don't understand the storytelling and the marketing parts. And so, but for designers, I've learned that having alone time is important too. Like, you can't always work. Like, you gotta take breaks. It's good for your health. mentally. Like things get stressful and you got to be able to like calm down, know how to calm yourself down, take the time. And then out of those times, sometimes you get inspired and designs come. um, have a nice, if you can, have a good team. I know sometimes starting off, like me and my partner, we didn't have nobody, and we had our son. I was like breastfeeding and packaging orders at the same time. Like it was crazy. But if you can slowly build a good team. Yeah, team, rest, and being willing to learn at every step are,
Mm,
are the three biggest things I would say.
okay.
And how can you help us? Oh my gosh, if just keep posting, keep shouting us out, keep giving feedback, email me. I always email people back. I love doing that. Like, I don't even consider it customer service. I really consider it like getting to know people and understanding like what people like and what they connect with. So email us, and of course shop, let's go with that for sure.
I love it. I love this so much. Great tips. Thank you for sharing with us. I know we got to wrap up. We could go on and on because you got a lot of gems. But it's Black History Month. Can you tell us really quick, what does fashion mean to you? We've had so many greats come before us and change what fashion means in the Black community to the world, right? Because we inspire and we kind of innovate in a sense, right? So what does fashion mean to you?
Girl, not kind of. We do this, but it means expression. It means expression to me, like at the most fundamental level, like whether you have $1 million or a couple dollars, you know what I mean? What you put on just is an expression. And being able to design what you put on or what you put on somebody else is an expression of who you are, how you feel about the world. And for us, our perspective is necessary, like how we move in this world as Black people, how we express that with our clothes, with makeup, with hair, with all of these things. Like it's expression, and it's also storytelling too. Like I love storytelling in all mediums, like music, art, fashion. And so it's storytelling is our stories are valid, they're necessary, they've been here first. I don't I mean, if you want to go back that far, but I just think that expression and telling your story through these different mediums is just it's everything. It's everything.
I love it. That was a great way to end. I loved it. Thank you so much for talking to Rolling Out. Love it.
Awesome. Thank you.